Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live this morning with my regular Wednesday morning card class to go. So if you're just joining me for the first time ever, my card class to go, oh, sorry, I can hear, just got to fix that. I can hear my own voice coming back at me. There we go. So every Wednesday morning, I go live with a card class to go. What it is I show you 3 cards, all using the same products. And then with a $60 purchase during Sale-a-brate, at least, with a $60 purchase, you can get the make and takes. You get 2 each of the 3 different cards, as well as with a $60 purchase, you're going to earn a Sale-a-brate item. And I am using Sale-a-brate items in all of my cards for the next 2 months. So just kind of a fun way. Now today's Sale-a-brate item is a little bit different. It's actually one of our $120 offerings, but honestly, it is, I think, the best Sale-a-brate product we have. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop. I'm going to show you the stamp set we're working with today and the Sale-a-brate item, and then I will get started stamping. Okay, here we go. So as you pop on, if you want to say hi, let me know that you're watching. I love to know who's here. And here we go. So the stamp set that we're using today is the Love Cat stamp set, and it's actually featured in our new mini catalog on page 13, and they've paired it up with the cottage gingham, I think it's called Cottage Gingham. I'm not sure actually, but this really sweet, like all plaids and ginghams and everything, designer series paper. And so they've paired it up with that to create some really fun cards in here. Today though, I am pairing it up with one of our Sale-a-brate items. And so that is the Dandy Designs designer series paper. It is a giant pack, 48 sheets of designer series paper, and it's in all sorts of bright fun colors. We've got Fresh Freesia, Mango Melody, Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Balmy Blue, Coastal Cabana. Like, it's just and Granny Apple Green. It is just so full of fun bright colors, fancy patterns. And then let's see if I can, I'll have to actually do this the other way, and really like combining them in really fun, well, that one's not combined. Where's one that's combined? Combining them in really fun ways as well. And then let's see, I'll flip this all over and show you the other side. So we've got gorgeous, I think that's my favorite, the Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and Fresh Freesia polka dots. Some plaids, more plaids, flowers, funky designs, stripes, like you name it, it's in here. So just such a fantastic bundle of paper. So this is the Dandy Designs 12 by 12 designer series paper, 48 sheets, and you get that for free with a $120 purchase. So I'm using this in all of my cards today, and I've used it a little bit so far with the owls as well, so super fun. And then we're using the opaque adhesive back gems. So these are Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Fresh Freesia, and White, and they're just perfect additions to these cards. And this you actually get for free when your order is over $70. So I'll send a package of those to you in addition to your make and take kit. All right, all that out of the way, let's get started crafting. The first card that we're going to create is this sweet little one with the little upside down kitty cat. So grab our packet here. So when you get your make and take kit, you'll actually have everything you need to create 2 cards. My packet just has enough stuff in here to make one. And so we're going to get started. So this is a pool party card base. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp my sentiment on this piece and then adhere it to the inside of my card. So where'd my stamp set go? There it is. So this is a different one. I normally put my sentiments on the front of the card, but this time I did not. We're going to put it on the inside. And so it says, head over heels about you. And we're going to stamp that in basic gray. Actually, you know what? Let's have some fun with it because it is the inside of the card. Let's actually use fresh freesia. Okay, so we're just going to tap, 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 pop that right down. Oh, I should stand up to make sure that that's straight. There we go. Pop that right down on the inside of our card. And actually, while I'm at it and have this out, I am just going to stamp this also onto a sticky note because I like to, when I'm selling my cards, I like to have it on the back if there's something written on the inside so people know. So I'll put that with my envelope, and there we go. Put that off to the side. So we're going to glue this to the inside of our card now. I always like to use liquid glue because it gives me the ability to kind of straighten things out if I don't get it lined up perfectly the first time. It's also probably our most economical adhesive because you can use so little of it to get such a good hold. There we go. So there's the inside of our card all done. Now we're going to get to work on the front of our card. So, sorry, still trying to get rid of this cold that I've got. So you've got a piece of basic white cardstock here, and this was embossed using our brand new cane weave embossing folder. And I can't decide if I like it debossed or embossed. They both look really, really cool. Before we glue this to our card front, though, I'm going to attach some DSP and a ribbon to it. So I have a strip here of our Dandy Designs DSP and just a funky granny apple green piece here. So you've got some choices for how to do this. You can use paper snips to trim the end of that, or I am just such a lazy stamper. I still have my retired, I don't even remember what this one's called now, but I have an old punch, and I just like to use that to create a tailored tags punch. So it's retired, but I like to use that to create a quick banner. You can also just do that with paper snips. All right, so I'm just gluing this straight down to my card front, nothing fancy here. Okay. So, and really not much glue needed, just a little layer around the outside. And I am kind of centering this. Actually, do I want to? Nah, you know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put it just slightly off to the right. I don't always like creating the exact same card a second time. We'll use all the same pieces. So put that just slightly off to the side. And I'm going to take a piece of fresh freesia satin edged ribbon. This is one of our in color ribbons, last year's in colors that are still, they're current until May, well, end of April of this year. And then we're going to get new ones. All right, and I'm going to tie a knot. And then once my knot is tied, and I love this ribbon because you can make that knot really small. The ribbon really scrunches up nicely. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my bunny ears and tie my bow. Okay, and then you just have to play with it to get it to the right size, make it sit where you want it to sit, how you want it to sit. There we go. Scrunch that up even a bit more. I like my bows kind of small. There we go. All right, once you have the bow that you want and it's sitting the way that you want, you're going to grab a pair of scissors and trim up the edges of your ribbon. Okay. There we go. All right, so with all of that done, we can now attach this to our card front. And again, I'm just using liquid glue. So I get a little bubble on the wider end of your glue stick. So there's two ends on these glue sticks. One is like pointy and one is wide. So I get just a tiny bubble on the end and I just drag that glue across. So it's a super thin layer. It's a very strong adhesive. You really don't need much. Okay. There we go. That looks straight-ish. All right. So there we have that all attached, and we are ready to do some stamping. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for watching. So today with these cats, you can just throw them on a block and stamp them. I'm funny about really solid images though. I don't like how sometimes it's a little granular or you can see like the little ink bubbles and stuff. I really don't like that look. I really want my image to be quite solid. So for something like this, I am going to use my Stamparatus. I used this last week to show you the mirror image technique. This week, I'm going to show you how to use it to really get those solid images colored in solidly. So I'm going to take my stamp and I would like it inside this square. You can kind of, well, here, I'll mark it out with a highlighter. So I'm just using the grid paper. You can buy these grid papers separately to go into your Stamparatus, or if you don't want to use paper, the Stamparatus itself, here I'll just show you, the Stamparatus itself has a grid on it. So I'm just popping this in. I like using the paper because then I can even highlight things like that for myself. So I'm placing this guy right in the center because I'm going to be stamping on a circle. And so I want to know where to place my circle. So now that I've got the stamp set there, I'm going to come in and pick it up on the panel of my Stamparatus. And I'm one of those people who likes to really see it. So I'm going to quickly put some ink on there. Not even really perfect because I'm just doing it to be able to see where my cat's going to sit. And once I've got that done, I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to hold it in place with a little magnet. Okay. And now I will ink up my cat properly. So I want to really, you can look at him and see that he's inked up. All right. Oh, that magnet's going to be in the way. Okay. There we go. Now, the joy of stamping on a circle, as long as you're kind of in the center of the circle, you don't have to worry about your image being straight. And then my circle's staying in place because I've got that magnet holding it there. So what I can do now, because you can see it's a little bit granular, and that's the look I don't like, I'm going to come back in and re-ink my cat and re-stamp it. And because it never moved, we got a perfect image again. And now he's nice and dark and he's not granular. Now you could even do it a third time to get a really, really solid look. But I'm going to be happy with 2 times. And we're done with that. I'm just going to make sure that that is up there like that. There we go. And we'll set that off to the side. So we have this beautiful basic gray kitty cat now. And we're ready to add a little bit of color. So I'm going to actually use my Fresh Freesia Stampin' Blends. There we go. And color in this little heart. Okay. And then this gets attached to our card front using some dimensionals. Now I only have my little frames here right now apparently. So I'm just going to cut up some of the edges. Got to use every little piece here. And I'm going to flip this over and put 3 on the back. There we go. So with that done, I am going to place this over top of my banner. I might even put it up a bit. No, I like it too. Okay, there we go. And then we'll finish this card off by embellishing with some of these dots. The cats are adorable. I know, Cindy, I don't own a cat either. I'm really a dog person, but these cats were too cute. All right, and then we'll just pop in here with some of these opaque adhesive back gems and do a few little dots. Come on. A few little dots in there. All right, and that is our first card all complete. So Head Over Heels About You. What a sweet little Valentine's. Or you could omit the sentiment on the inside, and it's just a great thank you card, or I don't know, anything for a cat lover or a lover of cute cats, even though I don't own any. Yeah, so there you go. You can see centered and off to the side. Decide which one you like better. I think I actually like off to the side better. So yeah, that's our first card. Then our next card, let's see. Oh, our next card is a super fun fold. So we've got this gorgeous fresh freesia card, and then it actually stands up. Oops. It's got to rebend it. It's been laying flat and squished for a while. So it actually stands up all on its own. And so really, really kind of cool thing. And it makes it look like that cat's like actually laying on a ledge. Very, very cool. All right, so we're going to put that off to the side. And, oh, you made your daughter's Valentine's cards for her class using that set. Fantastic. Yeah, it is a sweet one. Yeah, I haven't made my class Valentine's yet. I got to get on that. All right. So there's our envelope emptied out. So again, you'll get everything you need to make 2 of these. But I'm just going to make 1 for you today. So there's a lot of bits in this card. It's not as complicated as it looks, though. When you get this first piece, you'll notice that it is not a full 11 inches like our normal card base. It's only 10.5. So you want to find the shorter of the 2 sides, and we're going to do a little bit of scoring on here. So I'm actually going to move this out of the way and bring in, it's Facebook user. It says, are my comments showing? So yes, they are. Oh, I'm logged in as Lions View Creative. So your name's not coming up. It's just saying Facebook user, Jacqueline. All right. So here we go. I'm bringing in my Simply Scored board. And so I'm putting this in. You can see that this first score is at 5.5, which is a normal score for our cards, but then we're a little bit short on this side. And that's because we're going to create that first box. So on your card, score at 5.5, and then 6 3/4, 8 3/4, and 10. All right, so we've got a bunch of score lines on that shorter side. All right. Now we also, while I've got my Simply Scored board out, we also have another piece of fresh freesia that's going to make the top one. So this one is cut at 3 1/4 by 5. And then we are going to score it at 1/2 and 1.5. So 1/2 and 1.5. And there we go, along the long edge. Now that we've got those done, yes, now it says Lions View Creative. Awesome, Jacqueline, way to go. Wonderful. Okay, so here we go. We've got all these pieces scored. Now we get to actually start creating. So first thing that we're going to do is give these a little fold so that you can see how this is going to end up be in a box like that. So on the inside, we're going to take our largest piece of designer series paper and we're going to glue that in, and it has a nice little border all the way around. So this is kind of on the inside of the card. And you can choose if you want the squares like I used, or the other side is actually this awesome plaid as well. Now I chose not to use the plaid because I was like, oh, plaid and polka dots, I don't know, I think it's too much. I'm going to stick with the squares and kind of keep it simple because it just seemed like too much. Although I do absolutely adore this plaid. It kind of kills me to put glue all over it and hide it. But it just made for too busy of a card. So here we go. I'm going to pop this on to the inside. Just like that. And then this piece right here, kind of the largest of the sections, we're going to glue the other piece of DSP onto. Okay. I don't know, you could try doing plaid for that one and changing it up. It's same color scheme, you're not adding new colors. But I'm just going to keep it simple with these lovely squares. Okay. There we go. All right. So with that done, actually, I'm going to do this one as well. This one gets the polka dots. And so again, if you see here, this has the folds. So the largest piece gets the polka dots. And there we go. So that done. Okay, so now we're going to actually like build our card before we do any of our stamping. So this is not as challenging as it may appear to create. First thing we're going to do is you're going to fold it so that your designer series paper, oh sorry, actually no, we got to fold it that way. Is that right? There we go. That's the way we want to fold it. So you want to fold it so that you've got one, like you've got it folded in half. That's going to make sure that it fits into our envelope. And then your designer series paper is the top. We're going to put some tear and tape along the smallest little piece that we've got there. Oh, wow, that's the end of that tear and tape roll. Wow. Okay. So little piece of tear and tape there. I'm going to have to go find another roll before we can do the rest of this card. I'm going to peel that off. I'm going to fold this back where the designer series paper is, and I'm going to lay that down flat like that. So what that's going to do, it's all laid down flat like that. It's going to allow that piece to then stand up perfectly. So no guessing. It's just going to be absolutely perfect. So it'll fit into our envelope and then it can stand up. You may want to watch the replay on that a few times. All right, so I'm going to find a new roll of tear and tape. I'm sure I've got some. Yep, perfect. Okay, new roll of tear and tape, and I'm going to use tear and tape again on the smallest little segment of my polka dot piece. I'm also going to use it at the bottom of my polka dot piece. Okay, so when we think about how do we want this to sit, we're going to do this. I'm not going to attach my bottom yet. Okay, I'm going to do this, and let's see. I want it to sit like that. So I'm going to kind of put it where I want it to sit, lay it down. There we go. Oh, and there you go. Where I wanted it to sit, the fold actually sits right at the top. So you can just do like that. And then with it all folded flat, we're going to take this piece off. So it's just our DSP piece lined up across the top and centered side to side. And now both pieces open up just perfectly. And that's going to allow our card to stand up nicely. Now you do sometimes have to just give it a little, there we go. So now it's going to stand up nicely. And we've got those little boxes on the side. All right, so that is our card kind of base all created. Now we get to have some fun decorating. So one thing I am going to do is I'm going to take a solid piece of white and put it on the back, and that's where you can write any sentiment or anything to people. So here we go. This is the most complicated card of the 3 today, but I wanted to share this fun fold with you. I've made it a few times and I really enjoy this card, and I like how it looks sitting on like a shelf. Okay, there we go. So with that done, we'll put that to the side. Now we get to do a little bit of stamping. So I have actually already, I'm not sure why I did this, but I've already die cut most of your pieces. Now before we do anything, because I've done this before and it's hard to fix once you've got the oval on here, I'm actually going to wrap this thread through our little pocket here twice. Don't lose the ends. Okay, there we go. So I've got it wrapped through my pocket twice. And I'm just going to scooch it around so that I have equal ends on this end. Okay, so it doesn't matter where this starts. You want to just tie it so that you've got equal length on both ends and create a little knot. Once you've got that created, then you can go ahead and scooch it over to where you want it. And for me, that's over here at the edge of my polka dots. All right. And then I'm going to tie my bow. And there's not much left on this one to trim. I might just get rid of the one frayed end, but I want to keep these as long as they actually are. Okay. There we go. So for those of you who don't like tying bows, sorry, I am a little bit of a bow fanatic. All right, and just trim up that one. The other one's good. Okay, so we have our bow. If you don't like how it's sitting, you can also always use a mini glue dot to make sure it sits the way you want it to. I might attach that after we've got all of our other bits on here. All right, so I've got my oval and my Highland Heather oval. These were cut using, oh, they're here. I just got to unbury them. The framed florets dies. And so it's these awesome ovals. So I cut that, one out of white, one out of Highland Heather, and we're going to pop them together. But we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here. Oh, excellent. All right, so Jacqueline's saying that she missed these ovals earlier, but she loves them and she's going to grab them. Awesome. All right, so this oval that we've got, I'm going to grab this cat with the hearts over top of him, and I'm actually going to do this twice. I'm going to do it once with the Stamparatus and once without. I need a bit of a bigger block. The Stamparatus is nice too, because when you need bigger blocks, this kind of like takes away that need. All right, so I'm going to grab my Gorgeous Grape ink, but I am only inking up my hearts. Now, I might not be able to do this. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, if I get my head into the shot, it's because I'm trying really hard to see where the ink is and not get any on the cat. So I'm inking up only the hearts. All right, success. Now I'm going to think about where I want that line to be. So the line, I want it to go straight across my oval. So I'm going to stamp it just like that. Oh, darn it. And I got those little rims. Okay. Well, that actually works out well because I wanted to show you guys our new boho blue mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And now I have a reason to, because I have to cut a new oval. So I'm just going to grab a little piece of paper here. You need 3.5 by 2.5 to cut out those ovals. All right. Darn it. And I'm going to have to clean that stamp before we go again. So here is our new mini boho blue machine. You can only get this guy by joining my team. He is a gift for signing up as a demonstrator. So kind of special. As a demonstrator, I was able to pre-purchase it, but it's actually not in any of our catalogs and isn't going to be. So yeah, kind of cool. For $175, no shipping and no GST, you get $225 worth of Stampin' Up! Product of your choice, as well as this machine in the blue or in our traditional white. So pretty awesome. And then it folds up all nice and tiny like a little toaster. Love it. All right, so there we go. I've got my oval. And then I do also have the oval frame here. I often need a tool to get those ones out, so I'll set that to the side and grab that later. All right. So let's try this again. I'm going to actually re-ink it and then just use my chamois to clean. Oh, there it is. I'm going to use my chamois to clean up the edges after I've inked it. That way I don't end up accidentally doing the same thing again. All right, so got those hearts inked. And then, I don't know if you guys have ever used your chamois this way, but I use my chamois sometimes just like a cloth. So I just come in, fold my chamois, and just clean up where I want it cleaned. I don't even need to really worry about anything else. So I can come in and be pretty precise with where I am cleaning. I use it to clean my fingers too if I accidentally get ink on them. It doesn't take the stain off your fingers, but it takes anything that might come off of your fingers. All right, there we go. Ah, perfect. Okay, so there is our oval with our little hearts on it. We can now attach that to our card front. And the way I'm going to attach this is to actually flip it over. Okay, there we go. So the two are kind of nestled together. And then I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. Now, this is a bit tricky because I don't want to do any out on the end because that's not going to be like on my card. It's kind of going to be off the front edge. So I'm just keeping these inside and one in the middle. So that's kind of like a little frame that's going to sit nicely on here, but it's also holding all of this together. So it's kind of keeping the two pieces together. All right. There we go. Peel those off. And, oh, you know what? I think in the past I had actually put the cat on here first because then I used it to line up where his little lines would be. That's okay. We're going to center this top to bottom and we'll make it work. All right. So that gets attached to our card front. Just like that. Beautiful. All right, now we have this extra piece and we're going to stamp the whole cat onto that extra piece. But again, just like before, I don't like having kind of not full images. So I'm going to clean this up. There we go. clean that up, and I'm going to attach this to my Stamparatus. And I don't even need to remove my other one. I can just leave it there. Peel this off this block. And we'll do some stamping down here. Okay. So just like that. I'm going to pick him up. Now I am going to, and on my original card, I did him in black, but I'm actually going to give him a try in basic gray because I feel like he was maybe a little too dark on that card. So give him one little go so I can see where to line him up. Then I'm going to take my cardstock, and with this one I have to be less precise because I'm cutting it out. I don't really care where he lands on the cardstock as long as he's on the cardstock. You'll notice I also didn't ink up the hearts fully because I don't need to. I'm not cutting them out. I'm not using them in any way. I've already got them on my card in purple. All right, so I'm going to ink him one more time. And there we go. I like that. That's looking good. So we've got our cat on his little wall. We'll pull him out and put this off to the side. So with our little cat here, I'm going to grab, I have one more piece here. There it is. I have a little banner cut from the Stylish Shapes, and this is where we're going to put our sentiment. And for mine, it's going to be, "Hi there, Valentine." And we'll put that onto a little block. And I'm going to use my Gorgeous Grape again. So this one I am going to stamp quite far over to the right because his little front paw hangs down and I want it hanging down in front of my sentiment. Okay. Put this away. There we go. So that's our Gorgeous Grape. So that's going to get attached in a minute. And then this guy we're going to fussy cut. Now I just had my scissors. There they are. All right. Yeah, sometimes checking the edges of the stamps is important, Jacqueline. All right, so for this guy, I'm cutting him out, including his little ledge. Okay, I want those little lines kept in. So I'm just going to come in like this. There we go. And keep his little ledge on here. On both sides. But the hearts, we don't need. So cutting around him, I am leaving a tiny little white border. We don't need him to be cut out perfectly so that he has no border. Okay, here we go. Just a little bit more. So these guys are pretty straight lines. It's a pretty easy fussy cut. And then around the whiskers, I'm not going to bother going in on all the little whiskers. I'm just going to do a big outline around the three. There we go. And keep going. I was actually just teaching my class how to fussy cut yesterday, teaching them to hold your scissors still and turn your paper, because they had some pretty detailed little salmon they had created to cut out. Okay, there we go. And just about done. I was getting in my way. All right, there we go. So that's actually a pretty big piece. I'll save that for some stamping. And now we have our cat and our sentiment. And the two of these are going to get attached to our card front with dimensionals. But first of all, I'm going to put my cat onto my label. So I'm going to make sure that it is lined up so I can see the "Hi there, Valentine." And I want to also see the edging. So I'm going to move that up just a little bit. So I want it just like just attached. And I'm going to use one of my dimensionals on each end of my cat to do that, to hold him in place so that he's just covering that ledge, but not covering up the stitching. I want to see the stitching there under him. Okay, and I want to see my woods. Now that one paw is kind of like raising and creating a little bit of a shadow that I don't like. So I'm actually going to grab a mini glue dot and pop it under his paw so that his paw stays down and doesn't create that shadow. Okay, now that we have him sitting on the sentiment, I'm going to put a few more dimensionals on the back here. And it's probably too many, but whatever. And then we're going to put this onto the oval on our card front. There we go. All right, so when I do this, I'm going to position it so that the line that the cat is sitting on lines up with the top of that fold. Okay, there we go. All right, now the last part to this card is simply to add our embellishments. So I'm going to pull these in. Oh, I don't need those. I'm going to pull these ones in and use the Gorgeous Grape opaque gems. And so you can even lay this down flat if you want so that you can really adhere them easily. Okay, and another one. Okay, actually I want to come off the oval and do that. Now I had put some up there, but I'm worried that when I close the card, that's going to cause a problem. So I'm actually going to reposition these ones and put them down here in the white so that they're not going to get covered up. There we go. All right, so we've added 5 onto this card, and I think that just kind of finishes it up nicely. So that is our second card. So like I said, quite a bit more detailed than the other two, but super duper cute. All right, we'll set that off to the side. And our last card of the day. Oh, I don't need these. Oh, right, that was sitting there so I could take the thing out. Never mind. I'll remember why that's there. Okay, so our last card, super duper cute. Love this guy. I love hanging out with you. And here we go. We have our kit with, of course, some more Dandy Designs Designer Series paper. Those gems are the opaque adhesive back gems, Jacqueline. There you go. They're in our new mini, and yes, you do need to have them. All right, so we have a thick basic white card base, and to get started, we're going to take this scallop contour die and just glue it straight down. And so where'd my glue go? There it is. We're going to glue that straight onto our beautiful little balmy blue. There's stripes as well if you wanted to do stripes. Do I like that with stripes? Oh, I kind of do like it with stripes. All right, I've got one polka dot. I'll do one stripes. Oh, what am I doing? I'm gluing this to the Designer Series paper. Focus. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to, because the next paper I'm going to glue on here also has stripes, and then that might look really weird. Okay. I'm funny about mixing diagonal stripes with straight stripes. I don't really like it. So I am going to continue with polka dots. Because the next piece that I have for here, did I already lose it? Oh my goodness. How do you lose that piece? Like, ay. Okay. That's interesting. I already lost the piece that I cut for this card of my super fancy paper. So I'll bring out the pack. Maybe I accidentally put it away after I cut it. I don't know. Sounds like something I might do. This is some really cool new textured shimmer paper. And so I'll just open this up and we'll see if I accidentally put it away. So we have balmy blue, and I don't know if you guys can see, there we go. It's got stripes on it. So you get two 12 by 12 sheets of balmy blue, 2 sheets, oh, look at that. All right, so there's my piece. I just got to trim that down. 2 sheets of the white, and 2 sheets of shaded spruce. And so absolutely gorgeous. I wish we had had this shaded spruce at Christmas time. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. So that's the textured shimmer paper. Now this piece, I'm going to actually show you guys a cheat. In your kit, you're actually going to get a 5 1/4 strip to glue straight across. But if you want to make the most of it, we actually don't see much of it at all. So I'm just going to do that and glue these 2 little bits on the 2 ends. So you could probably make like a lot of extra cards actually using this this little trick and cutting up the piece that you're going to get. You will get a full 5 1/4 inch piece, 1 by 5 1/4 inch. So here we go. I am going to glue this piece on. So I'm going to glue the first side, kind of centered top to bottom. And there we go. And then I'm going to lay down my ruler. I love using a ruler for this kind of thing. I'll lay down my ruler so that when I glue the other end, I make sure that it's at exactly the same height. There we go. Okay, so, because that's all going to get covered up. So now this whole piece we're going to glue to our card front. Okay, and this gets centered right on the front. Oh, come on. Yeah. So we center that on the front of our card, and now we get to do our stamping. Okay, I'm going to put my lid on my glue. So we are done with that. And I'm going to put that off to the side, and we're going to bring the Stamparatus back. All right, so I would like this piece to be fully covered. So I am actually going to clean up one of my cats and remove it. So when I'm cleaning something that's on the Stamparatus, I do find that, again, grabbing this and using it like a rag is the easiest way to clean something that's on the Stamparatus. Okay. And then we can just peel that off, put it away, and we're going to bring out our other cat. Now, because there's no ink on it yet, I'm actually going to put down my cardstock in a way that's going to be easy for me to line it up. And then I'm going to put down my cat where I want him to be. And I'm going to pick him up. Now, before I move that piece of cardstock, I'm going to grab a highlighter and just, not like right on the lines because I know I used the dark lines for this bottom corner. And I'm going to do that. That way, if I want to do a bunch of these, I will be able to. And, okay, now I'm going to hold that in place though with my magnet because remember I'm going to do multiple goes of this. Now this one as well I did in black, but we're going to try it in basic gray. And then you'll be able to see from my photo or from what I create today if you like basic gray or black better. All right. Now we've got him all inked. Oh, and it just misses the magnet. Good stuff. Okay. There we go. Yeah, and I want him inked up more for sure. Oh, much better. Beautiful. Okay, so there is our gorgeous little cat. I am quite liking him in basic gray. All right, and then we'll just close that up and set that off to the side again. So we have our beautiful cat, and now I'm going to grab Melon Mumbo ink and stamp our sentiment. The sentiment says, "I love hanging out with you." So we'll just pop that onto a little block. Tap, tap, tap. And again, as long as you've got it centered, there's no straight on a circle. So it works out quite easily. Now, if you have a Melon Mumbo Stampin' Blend, you can color that. If you don't, just grab some blender pens and pick up some ink and use it to color those. Now, I happen to have my melon, or maybe I don't. Where did it go? Okay, apparently I don't have a Melon Mumbo Stampin' Blend, or I do and I've hidden it away. So here you go. You can grab your markers, or I was talking about blender pens. Let's grab my blender pens. No, where did I put my blender pens? I was just using them the other day. How strange. Well, what would I have done with them? Very, very strange. Okay. Oh, no, that one has alcohol in it. Wow, I've lost my blender pens. I guess that's a sign that it is time to clean my desk. Okay. Well, luckily for me, I don't need to find them. I do have a Melon Mumbo marker, but I will have to clean my desk later because I really like using my blender pens. So strange. All right, so here we go. Just grab a marker and color that in. That's weird because I also know I have a Melon Mumbo Stampin' Blend. I don't know why they're all missing. Okay, so with that colored in, we are going to attach these to our card front using Stampin' Dimensionals. So bring our card front back in. I'm going to attach this one first. So I'm going to do the 4 corners and 2 in the center because I don't want the middle to sag. All right, here we go. And one last one. All right, so I can't remember now if I talked to you guys about how a card class to go works, but I think I did. But basically, you guys can place an order using my host code that's in the link below, and I will send you the stuff to make 2 each of these 3 cards that I've designed today. So now here you'll notice I put those dimensionals right onto the card base, and then I'm actually going to be lazy and just grab some seal. I'm going to do a little dash, maybe I won't, a little dash of seal on the corner. And then I'm going to peel these off and stick my sentiment down so that all of that adhesive is covered up. There we go. Easier than trying to put it on the back and then make sure it doesn't hit the corner. Okay, and now we're going to finish this off with some Melon Mumbo gems. So yeah, with well, normally it's a $50 order, but right now I don't want you guys to miss out on your celebration. So with a $60 order, you get 2 each of the make and takes for these, as well as your celebration item. And yeah, so it's super fun. You get this little kit in the mail. With a $70 order, I'll actually add in a pack of these opaque gems for you. And yeah, it's just kind of a fun little perk to placing an order. All right, so there we have our finished card. I feel like I stamped this guy lower on this one, and we're a little bit naked up there. So I'm just going to grab one more gem and throw it up there. There we go. All right, and that is our finished card. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, that is, and there you can see the difference between the black and the gray. I actually think I like the gray one better. So that is our finished card class. I'll just bring in the cards and show you guys all 3. So there's our whole class. These guys stack up pretty high. And yeah, that difference between using the black or the gray, I actually think I really like the gray. So that is it. And I will be live again on Wednesday with my Sale-a-brate Sunday card class. Oh, that's not the view I wanted. There we go. So you guys can still see the cards. I'll be live on Sunday with the Sale-a-brate Sunday card class that is still featuring this same Dandy Designs Designer Series paper as well as the Love Cats. And, you know, if you don't have the Stamparatus, between grabbing the Stamparatus, your Love Cats, and probably that Cane Weave embossing folder, you're going to love that one, and some textured Designer Series paper, you've actually hit your $120 level so that you can get your own pack of the Dandy Designs DSP and be able to create way more than just the 6 cards you'll get in your make and take kit. So I hope you guys like that one, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Have a great day.